Alright guys, what we got here is something I've been waiting a little while to install. I've had it for a week or so now, just no time to do it. So this will be the 67 Designs universal mount arm, and I don't remember the name, there's the mounting ball. So let's tear into it and see what we got here. So there's the actual mount, the universal phone holder, I believe they call this the nano arm, just the shorter arm, and of course, gotta have the sticker. Well, right off the bat, I can tell you that these are not your normal cheap Amazon type mounts. These things have got some weight to them and they're built nice. Feels like aluminum. Even the arm's got some weight to it, so these are nice. Let's get these put together and see how this is going to work. So I know a lot of people like to use the RAM mount stuff, which I have some of it in here. I use it, I don't have a problem with it. I used to use one for my phone, but problem I had with it, or what I didn't like, is while it's stable and sturdy and holds the phone great, it would take two hands to get the phone in and out, and just getting in and out of the vehicle quick and needing the phone right away. I just didn't enjoy that. I needed something that was a little bit quicker, a little faster. The 67 Designs is supposed to be a single hand mount or removal of the phone, so we'll see how that works. Again, never had a problem with the RAM mount, like it, used one for my tablet. It's very stable, just was inconvenient for constantly taking the phone in and out. For something like my tablet, works great. I never remove the tablet, pretty much stays put all the time. So again, nothing wrong with the RAM, but wanted to give this guy a try. Kind of curious how it'll fit my phone. So my phone's a little bigger than most phones, it's Samsung Note series. So it should fit just fine. According to the charts, it's, oh yeah, no problem. And I can already tell that's going to be super convenient. It isn't going anywhere. That's not coming out of there. If that thing comes out for my driving, we got bigger problems. So, excellent. Now we just got to see where we're going to mount this thing. I have a couple ideas. Let's go up to the front and see where it'll fit. Alright, so just kind of wanted to give a layout of how I personally have things set up. This 4Runner is mostly daily driver, gets me to and from work, etc., etc. So I have a tablet that's mounted, RAM mounts again, drill the hole in the dash, and that's where it stays. Rarely does that come out of the rig unless I just need a tablet for something. But I used to run, Gaia on the trail, Waze or Google when commuting. Just works good for me. It's convenient. It's right there. It's an LTE tablet, so I use it for my music. It streams, Google Play Music and what have you. Don't do this while driving, of course, but it does have YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, all that good stuff on there. So just one thing I have that's convenient. I know that's a commonplace for the phone. If I was not using a tablet, my phone would be up there, but I needed someplace else. So normally, my phone sits right there in the cup holder. Actually works pretty good. It's a good spot for it. Stays pretty secure, just out of coincidence. The Note 8 fits in there. The downside is I lose that cup holder. And not that I need it often, but when I need it, I'm kind of hiding the phone somewhere. So I started playing around, 67 Design mount, looking for places to go. And I think my original thought is still going to work. We're just going to go in this little coin holder down here. A couple reasons. One, it's just convenient. It doesn't get used for anything else. Two, if I decide I don't want it there, I absolutely hate having the holes there because I am going to drill holes. That's a fairly inexpensive piece to replace. But overall, I think that's going to work. It's not adjusted exactly where I want it, but that'll give me clearance to where I'll have the cup holder. Still can work the shifter without hitting it when I slam it into park or what have you. Transfer case levers plenty out of the way. And one thing I was hoping is that my little ham radio would be able to go in there, so if I did need a mount, I could throw it there, but it doesn't fit. It's too small for the mount, so no big deal. I'm going to get another mount for that here eventually. So a couple other things I thought about was, up here, but I'm kind of saving this spot for other things in the future. Considered mounting it in here, but I feel like that just fits the phone too much over on the passenger side. And honestly, with the phone right here for me, I can see it in my lower peripheral vision, if you will. So when I'm driving, I can see when it's beeping or flashing or doing things that I need to know about. So I think that's going to go there. Double checked it clearance with the water bottle. Should work just fine. We don't have a whole lot of room in these 4Runners, so we make do with what we got, but I don't see any issues with that going there. I don't know that there's a much better place for it. Yeah, I think that's the spot, so we're going to start cutting into there. Again, I guess that's one other benefit of this too, is if I did do the RAM out there, which I considered at one time, well, I don't know that it would fit. It kind of gets in the way just because the mechanisms on it. The 67 design mount can stay low. It'll just mount the bottom of the phone. Again, nothing wrong with the RAM mount. It serves its purpose. It's a stout mount. They're inexpensive, but I think this is going to work out really good. This is going to be the way to go. I'll be happy with this. So we're going to take out this trim piece here, get some holes drilled and get that installed. Okay, so we kind of got everything laid out to drill the holes. I was just kind of doing final fitment. One thing I noticed is that the holder didn't come with any hardware. Not an issue. I have a bunch of it, but I was just looking to see what they gave to mount with, and there was nothing. So that's the plan, was to put it in here. It still is. I'm going to install it kind of diagonal, that way it doesn't fit straight across. It's too long. I think this way it gives it just a little bit better lateral support. Probably doesn't matter since the phone's going to be hanging back over here. I'm sure that would work just as well, but I'm going to do it that way because it makes no difference. So we're going to mark the holes. I'm going to show you some concerns we might have on the backside that'll determine the screws we use, but I'm going to mark the holes and get it drilled. So I grabbed some miscellaneous stainless bolts and nuts, washers, etc. My concern is the support bracing back here might get in the way. I may just have to self-tap it, which may work, may not work. I was going to actually put nuts and washers on there just to kind of make sure it's secure, but depending on how those holes go through, may start with self-tappers, see how they work, and if I have to, figure it out. Otherwise later, we can do so. Just starting with a small pilot hole to self-tap through, and then I can enlarge it if I can actually use the bolts. Okay, well that actually works out good. I did not realize it, but this piece is not the same as this piece. This is actually a more backing, so that gives it more support. And I think there's going to be room. It'll be tight, but there's room to run the actual bolts through. So I'm going to actually drill it. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw some self-tappers in there and see how sturdy it is. We'll kind of go from there. Kind of determine what we do from that point. All right, so interesting enough, they're not necessarily self-tappers, but the stainless screws that I just tapped into the pilot holes are actually just small enough to pull through the holes on the mount. So let's see what we're gonna do. I might. You know what? I'm just gonna put those in there. Okay, so I don't know how well that shows up in camera, but there were some issues clearancing these little braces, but in the end it worked out because the way the nut sits against it, didn't have to hold it with a wrench. So they're snug in there, and I didn't put lock washers on there, but I don't see those coming out. They were, because they're at such an angle, I think they're stuck in there. And if it does come out, we'll fix it next time. So that should be it. All right, let's go put it back in the rig. Don't forget to plug your harness back in. You won't have any back window controls or heated seats if it's an option in yours. I always forget to plug that back in, so. I think that's the right spot for it. Well, so there it is, 67 Designs mount. That's a good spot for it. I'm actually, thing is stout. That's actually impressively stout. That phone's not going anywhere. I feel like I'll break my phone if I try to pry it out of there. Yeah, we'll see how it goes driving it, but I don't see any issues. That's a good spot. I'm gonna put a link in the description to all the parts that make this up, so you guys can get them too. But again, Samsung Note 8 with a little thin case on there, and there is plenty of room to go to a much bigger phone if you needed to. I like that. I might try to scoot it over just a little. No, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there and see how I like it. I might move it around just a little bit, but that's, for the most part, that's it right there. Yep, that's it.